Aloha guys, this is JRTV. I'm over here in downtown Honolulu going to express a few reasons why I've found that it's not so important to have a particular body parts or body type or anything to that effect. No, not such a concern or attachment in a particular lifetime. But we can of course build by investing in couples that we find attractive. We can build the bodies we want, just like building a new car. And we can do that for our future incarnations, as if, say, somebody's grandchild is actually us. See what I'm saying? And in that sense, we're actually transcending this idea of a self-interest that I have to have my own children, because we should make bodies more attractive. It is better to be tall and strong and smart and so on and so forth. But I want to examine other outline issues here, specifically dealing with sexuality, the idea of size mattering, uh, human, human affairs, the human body of, and we're right here in Hawaii. This is the Hawaii Theater. Great effect, and want to. It's funny. This guy's, there's a poster here, and it shows a woman with no shirt at the top, right? See that? You can see that. That and also men wearing tight clothing. I really don't think it's suitable, tight pants, because it reveals the crotch, obviously, and the penis, and then for women, it's they're revealing of their breasts. I don't think it's suitable either. I don't think it's healthy for society. I think it's good for people to have their personal life private, and to discuss such matters. It's not only do I think it's like a little queer, and especially when women are talking about it, or guys are breast size, or men are talking about like penis and yeah, size. And the interesting thing is the vagina. Okay, what people really want is they want somebody to say, your penis or vagina is attractive, and I'm looking forward to oral pleasure, and so on and so forth. And the reality is there's so many variances. For example, perhaps maybe African American guys might have larger proportionate sizes of penis sizes, but guess what? That they have their imperfections as well. They have, they may have some just like, I don't know, darker skin, maybe some body odor. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to say is, well, that is the point. That is the point, that people have different body types and they choose each other for different reasons. Like, one person might want somebody because they're a tall person, a big tall woman, but she may have a deeper vagina. When people ask the idea of, penis and vagina, they say it's all about the penis. But guess what? It's the same as saying, is somebody going around and saying to women, do you like, what penis size do you like? It's the same as saying to guys, what vagina size do you like? And it's it's no one's business. It's a personal affair. And the mistake people make is trying to think that, I wish I had a certain body type and everything in order to attract people. And the truth is, you don't want to attract people. You want to attract a person, your dream mate. You're going to have a great husband or a great wife for you in your life. And the way to do that is to exercise self-control, respect for others, and want good. And what happens is, people get distracted by other people's and their relationships and their bodies, and it's a distraction from you and your dreams and your bodies, your dream mate and your body. You know what I mean? All these other ongoings are actually distractions. And so it's just a comparative. It's a comparative between, like, what's the difference between a child and an adult? Well, a child may try to be competitive and try to be like, oh, I've got more than you, or you've got less than me, you know, and talk about these competitive things like like bigger or smaller or whatever, instead of wanting to be cooperative and have some respect for your fellow human being. And for example, women not show their breasts, men not show their penis. And it's it just it's a necessary topic to discuss because you know there are advantages and disadvantages. If it's larger size, not as easy to maintain erection. With women, obviously, you don't want it to be too tight or too loose either, or too deep, or whatever. But the interesting thing is that the reason people, fall in love and stay in love is they may not even be sexually compatible. The reason people really want to connect with each other is more subtle. Uh, I think generally speaking, it's because they're in proximity to each other, and they have similar goals, and they like each other's demeanor, and they just the problem is sometimes people get into committed relationships where they don't even know what love and commitment is. They don't even have defined goals in their lives, and they're perhaps too young and undeveloped in order to actually say, you know what, I know what love is, and I know what I love, and consequently I know who I want to be in love with and who will love me. It's a great subject. Obviously, I think medium is always better for penis size. It's like you get a combination of aesthetic and you know um, functionality, and also obviously uncircumcised. That's to protect the head, to keep it healthy. Obviously, your sex organs, you want to um, you know you want to oil massage them several times throughout the day. I'm not talking masturbation. I'm talking like keep them oiled and young, and virility and health and youth, and like having good skin and everything. That will always be a higher attractor than whatever breast, penis, or ass, or all types of stuff. So keep that in mind, and just have an awareness that you want good for people, but that you are all that is. And what these bodies are under our control. We're the overarching consciousness that rules this physical domain, and we have to act accordingly. We have to feel good and feel powerful, and realize that the ego makes you think like, oh, you want to seduce or be seduced, or it's cool to do that. But the truth is self-control and giving your energy to the right person. Forget the idea of it's. People get distracted by this whole sexuality stuff. The reality is it's about energy, and it's seeking to please somebody because you love them, not seeking pleasure. That's the difference. you know and so, yeah, it's an individual choice as to what bodies, all that, what you want, um, all of that stuff, right? But it's also a personal thing, and it's sexual harassment if somebody is talking about it. It's sexual harassment if they're talking about, oh, they're somebody, even if they're just talking about somebody else's body or body type. you know really to be understood that it's and sometimes it might be appropriate to tell the authorities, responsible authorities about it. Other times it might be best to simply avoid them, or um, realize that rude people are unhappy, and have an awareness, all right, that people, okay, when they say stuff like that, like talk about certain sexual matters, and that, by the way, it should be understood that there's the theater fading in the distance. It should be understood that the vagina is actually politically correct. It's to be focused on, looked at, celebrated, etc. So just look forward to that, guys, and you know, and be in truth and love, and your truth, and that's it. It's good that you joined me for some points here, and let's just tell people, you want good for them, you want them to have their dream mate, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. In the fantasy world, it's like, oh, bodies and people's sizes of their shapes and size of their bodies and everything. That's like in the abstract world. In the real world, you walk around, people are flawed and they're imperfect, and you just, it doesn't matter people's money or bodies. It matters you've been able to look at them and feel good and strong and respectful, and be able to look at people. Let's say for example, two people are maybe not married, but they're engaging in intimacy. You need to be able to look at them in public and just look at them in a kind, confident spirit that doesn't say that I'm judging you, but that type of thing. And it doesn't mean you're not judging them. Like you do also want to avoid certain people, but I think you get the idea. Want good for people, want them to have great experiences. Aloha, guys. Remember to enjoy and fucking be human, and be true to yourself and your dream mate.